Okay. We're here with Isaiah Saxon. He's our media director for Open Source Ecology, and he's actually a movie director by trade. Joined a project a few months ago. So Isaiah, tell us more about what you're working on right now as far as your movie. Just to introduce that.
Yeah, outside of Open Source Ecology, my directing team, Encyclopedia Pictura, is developing a feature film that's trying to be the new heroic myth for the maker movement in America. So it's called DIY, and it'll be a Hollywood 3D feature film that takes all these things that we're interested in and puts them in an action-adventure context so kids can get into it.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot about what we do with GVCS, Global Village Construction Set, in terms of...
Yeah, there's a character in the film that's directly inspired by Marchin.
All right, excellent. And so tell us how you got involved with Open Source Ecology a few months ago.
Yeah, I first got involved, I put together, edited the GVCS in 2 minutes video that's gotten around.
That was for the Buckminster Fuller Challenge initially, and we used that as our main publicity.
Yeah, I thought that, there'd been so much incredible footage over the years at Factory Farm, but there had yet to be a really cohesive, distilled version of exactly what the GVCS is, and sort of putting the focus on the GVCS rather than Factory Farm, or rather than on, the economic side, but just, here's the product, it's the GVCS, we want to do it in 2 years, this is it. So, got involved through that, and then as you and I started talking more, sort of laid out a strategy for how you would fund this, how you would gain more internet support, how you would gain more support from the sort of Silicon Valley type crowd. And so I've laid out
that leads us to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I've laid out a campaign strategy for how to do the Kickstarter. I'm going to be doing some more video materials for that. Also designed a new website for Open Source Ecology.
OpenSourceEcology.org, which will be coming online full pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's just, we're trying to give a cleaner, clearer, more sober face to the project for people that are just coming from, having no experience with it and they're not true fans yet. So,
yeah.
And then after that, helped you write the TED Talk, made the slideshow for the TED Talk.
Yeah, which was received extremely well, and it was...
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. What are the plans? So, what do you see yourself as media director? For us, what do you see yourself doing?
Yeah, so right now I think in the next coming months, what we really need to do is reorganize the wiki. I've helped you develop a wiki standards template, which will be basically making the wiki have a very clear way of presenting its information that's standardized across all of the machines that we're presenting, because I really think that documentation is the actual deliverable of Open Source Ecology beyond all the things that we do and all the cool videos that are produced. The documentation, meaning the actual instructional content on the wiki, is really like the highest priority. So that template, we're going to need to take all of the old content, switch it over to that template, and then at the same time want to develop just better communication with the world around the project. So we'll continue to do some videos. We're going to develop these things called product ecologies, which will be very easy to understand visualizations of how all of the tools interact with each other, which you've already started outlining in mind maps, but we're going to turn them into graphics.
Yep.
So actually, if there's any designers and artists out there, we could really use you on the project. The sort of media end of the project is starting to bottleneck around me in the same way that the technical development has been bottlenecking around Marchin, so we could really use some support at this time. So if you want to send in your portfolios, that'd be awesome. So yeah.
What do you see regarding the vision we share about building real communities and applications of the Global Village Construction Set? What's your vision for, or let's say, why are you interested in it personally as a stakeholder, direct stakeholder?
Yeah, so where I'm standing right now in Aptos, California, I've been helping build a unique hillside village with 18 people. I'm really interested in creating a really healthy human environment. I'm inspired by Christopher Alexander's pattern language, and really inspired by empowering people with DIY skills and DIY tools, and creating places that are built around friendship and mutual respect. So we've been building a place like that out here. When I saw the GVCS being developed years ago, I started foaming at the mouth because I wanted that here. And you know, we just buy all our power tools. You know, we're not making anything. So, I mean, we're making all our buildings, but not our tools. So, on one level, I just selfishly want to use it. On another level, I think it's a further extension of the reason why people get into even growing their own food. It's like you want to connect and know how that it is that you're alive. And once you really look into that problem, you know that beyond even growing your own food or you know, creating a community, that you actually need to understand, you know, the A to Z of how you're alive, and that basically the backbone of that is industrial machinery. So
Yeah. So we're still planning on finishing everything, the 50 tools of the Global Village construction set over the next 2 years with massive parallel development. We've got the media side covered here. We need a lot of help, so if anyone can help out, we'll hook you up with Isaiah to guide that process. So any other comments to wrap up?
yeah, please support us at the Kickstarter campaign. We're gonna be making a bet, basically, that we're gonna get a certain amount of money, and if we don't raise that, we won't get anything. And it's gonna be a pretty risky bet, but we're pretty confident about it. So tell your friends.
Yeah. Actually, to pump that a little more, why are we so confident, or what do we have working for us on a Kickstarter? Because that's going to be a major campaign that's going to bootstrap quite a bit.
Well, what I've been doing is setting up relationships with different media outlets, so that basically the entire internet of sites that look at green technology or even gadget blogs and everything are all pointing to us all at once. So pretty confident that we'll get enough eyes on the internet. It's just a matter of whether we get enough donors. So I know it's going to come from extra support from true fans as well. And it sounds like from the TED conference, we've also gotten another layer of really meaty support. So I think we're doing good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look forward to everything. So Isaiah, thanks a lot. I'm going back to Missouri tomorrow. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
And we'll keep rolling.
It's been a pleasure.